Having an awesome day. Today I'm going to talk to you about the 5 signs of memory loss. These are just 5 possible signs that someone might be suffering from memory loss, dementia, the onset of Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's, or any of the dementia-related diseases. So here, what I'm going to talk to you guys about today is just 5 possible signs. Doesn't necessarily mean that this is all of them, or that these, if someone were to have these, that they would have dementia, Alzheimer's, or Parkinson's disease, but these are things to maybe just clue into. If you're caring for your mom, your dad, your spouse, or a loved one, these are 5 signs that would be at least helpful for you to be aware of. Hi guys, my name is Kris Chana. I'm the owner of Chelsea Place Senior Care and the host of Senior Source TV. And I appreciate you guys joining us today. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a part of this group. Hey, if you don't mind, do me a favor. We're trying to get 100 subscribers. So if you don't mind just hitting that subscribe button on the link below, hit subscribe on our YouTube page. I really appreciate it. We'll get right into it now, okay? So the 5 signs of memory loss. So sign number 1, forgetting names and major events. Now, when I made this list, in my mind, I'm thinking, man, I pretty much, I do all 5 of these things. Like, do I have dementia? Do I have the onset of memory loss? You have to understand that this doesn't, even if like, you're like, yeah, this has happened before, what you're looking for is to see that these things are happening maybe on a regular basis, that it's kind of a pattern, that you've noticed it a couple times, and so it's happening over and over again. So forgetting names and major events might be someone, maybe your mom or your dad, they forgot the name of their grandchild. Maybe your daughter, maybe she's 5 years old or something like that, and all of a sudden you notice that your dad keeps forgetting her name. Or in a conversation on the phone, he'll maybe avoid using her name because he's forgotten. So it might be something like that. It might be major events. Might be a birthday, an anniversary, or something like that has always been a part of your guys' life that all of a sudden now, he's not doing that same thing that he used to do, or your mom might not be, tuning into or is forgetting certain major events that are important, that she always did remember in the past, or even if forgetting like places they had gone to recently, like maybe what they ate for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, where they went a few weeks previously for where you guys had gone on a family trip, even if it was like 6 months ago or 3 months ago or even a month ago, something there was a forgetfulness there, like, Mom, don't you remember going to Disneyland? And they don't remember something like that. It was like a major event. You guys went for like 2 or 3 days, and all of a sudden your parents don't realize that they had been to Disney World with you guys as a family. So just things like that would be like, well, that's kind of concerning me a little bit, Another one might be a confusion with time or place. Maybe your spouse, your mom or dad, like all of a sudden, say it was your spouse, they wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and they're going through their dresser and they're getting ready for the day, and you're like, honey, what's going on? And what you've realized is that your loved one's like, well, I'm getting ready for work, and you're like, oh, honey, you retired like 5 years ago. In your mind, you're thinking, what just happened there? That might be confusion with time or place. Like they thought they were still, they were still working. They thought they were doing their normal routine, but they got the time all mixed up because it's 2 a.m. and honey, you don't work anymore. So there might just be some confusion with time or place. Or maybe they were supposed to be somewhere, or they were at like a party or going to some sort of function, and just they got confused about where they were headed. They ended up going to the wrong location, or something like that. So that might be another one, number 2. So number 3, mixing up words. You might have your mom or your dad. They might take out a plate and call it a bowl. They might be in need of a plate, but they keep grabbing like a glass. They might call that glass, they might call it a plate. They may have some shampoo in their bathroom, and they might call that shampoo toothpaste. There's all these different variations that might happen where the words might get mixed up and they may not catch it. Okay. Number 4 would be a withdrawal from work or social activities. So you might have a withdrawal from so say your loved one's still working, but all of a sudden they're pulling back a little bit, or like you guys have always had a really active social life, and they're not wanting to hang out with that other person not wanting to hang out with your friends as much, or they're kind of being more reserved. They want to stay in more. Maybe you're noticing that when you're in conversation and you guys are talking, with your loved one there, that person is not. They're not remembering some of those things that you guys have done together as a couple, or whether it's social or at work. They're in meetings and they're forgetting things that you guys had just talked about the week before, and so you might, as a result of that, because that's happening, that person might start feeling self-conscious of that, and they might start conserving or pulling back. They might be withdrawing a little bit. So that might be another sign there. And number 5, you might have someone that's always been kind-hearted, that's been gentle, had a really gentle spirit, and now they're angry all the time. They're blowing up. They're getting angry. They're becoming aggressive. They're saying maybe this hurtful things, and it's like a totally different personality shift. And this person's been pretty stable their whole life, and all of a sudden you start noticing these other things that are just concerning you. I've never seen that before. So it could be the onset of maybe Alzheimer's disease. It's messing with the way that person handles their feelings, or that person could just be frustrated because they realize that they're starting to forget something. So these are just 5. There's a lot of other signs, but these are just 5 signs that could possibly be common signs of memory loss. So depending on your loved one, depending on your situation, just being aware, like it may not necessarily be that there's anything that's happening right now today, but just being aware of this as you start noticing these things, like just tuning into this a little bit more, being aware of it, it's going to be helpful, because you'll start to realize if there's a pattern or not. If there's a pattern, that's where you're starting to get a little bit more concerned, because it's happening consistently, and now it's like showing us that there might be something going on there underlying. So, hey guys, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, please do me a favor, like, share, comment, tag your friend. Subscribe to our channel. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, make sure you get a copy of Florida's 5-Step Guide to Senior Care. It's a free it's a free PDF. You can download it on our website. There's a link below, or be happy to send you a copy of it. But it's a completely free resource. It's got a lot of great information in there, and we walk you through 5 easy steps. Being proactive, organizing your legal affairs, making a financial plan, finding the right, or understanding the different care options that are available to you. And then step 5 is how do you choose the right provider. So we walk you through these 5 easy steps. It's a great resource. So make sure you get a copy of that. And thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for allowing me to spend some time with you guys. Of course, if you have questions, I would love to hear what questions that you guys might have that we could answer for you. So thank you again, and have a fantastic day.